What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fann of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. He's Michael D'Arcy of KC Sports Report. And guys, it's the middle of the offseason. We've got some controversial comments to talk about. We'll discuss it right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back in to another video on my channel. Today I am joined by my good friend Michael D'Arcy of KC Sports Report. And like I said in the intro, guys, it's the middle of the damn offseason. The only thing to talk about right now is drama. And there's always offseason drama. And once again, there's offseason drama with a name you guys are probably familiar with, and that is Kevin Kietzman, the former radio host over at 810. Now, I pulled this from Starcade Media on Twitter, but they pulled a quote from Kevin Kietzman, who went on his own show. Now, if you guys don't remember, Kevin Kietzman was the one who had some disparaging comments towards Andy Reid and the Chiefs organization back during the Tyreek Hill saga. Actually got him booted off the air, but he's still out there talking about the Chiefs today, and he had some comments that kind of went, viral within the local sphere, really, for Chiefs fans, talking about Mahomes, saying he's fat, he's an embarrassment, stop the fast food, do a sit-up, do something. I don't understand it. You can't just run through your NFL career eating Taco Bell all the time and door dashing fried chicken. You got a $500 million contract. It's your job. He's done nothing but eat and drink this offseason. Now, Michael, these comments are absolutely insane from a guy that supposedly loves the Chiefs, covers the team. And granted, he's
covers the team.
He's at a time in his career where he's already said the wild stuff that basically got him fired. So I guess there's just really a point where you don't care anymore. You just say whatever you want. But let me say this. He's talked about Mahomes, having that $500 million contract, doing his job. His job is to win games, win Super Bowls. And I'd say he's done that pretty well, despite whatever, beliefs you might have about his weight, about his appearance. But what is your initial thoughts, Michael, on these comments from Kevin Kietzman?
It is an absolutely diabolical thing to say. And Josh, I don't know if you've seen the picture going around. I'm going to go ahead and show this so the lovely people can see. That is Kevin Kietzman sitting crisscross applesauce eating Culver's. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I would understand
throwing stones from a glass house, apparently.
Exactly. And it's like, I would understand if Patrick Mahomes was like Zion, like he just had a problem with his weight. He kept eating and eating and eating, and it was affecting his ability to stay healthy. Josh, we haven't missed a Super Bowl. Like, even when he's had these comments, because he said something back in 2022 about his weight, and he went on to win MVP and the Super Bowl in the same year. So it's almost like this is a repeated thing where we just try to find something to pick at Patrick Mahomes when, listen, he might not have a six-pack, but guess what? He should not have a six-pack. He should not have a six-pack. He doesn't need one.
I will say, and I'm not agreeing with Kevin Kietzman here at all whatsoever. But like, I understand kind of what he's saying. Like, I think there is some truth somewhere in there if you're to really, dig in. Like, I think Mahomes, look, quarterbacks do need a certain percentage of body fat, right, to absorb those hits during the season. But that said, I do think Mahomes could maybe help himself by, shedding down just a little bit, maybe, getting that six-pack, Michael, or even a two-pack or a four-pack would even, be good for him. But in all seriousness, I think he's doing just fine. And like I said, as a quarterback who takes so many hits, you got to have, a little bit of a natural flak jacket there. And that is a real thing. And I think, when you look at the offensive line situation for the past couple of years, can you really blame Mahomes for kind of going into the season the way he does? And also, like, I think Mahomes has an offseason routine, and I do think he has his relaxation time during the offseason where he is, eating and drinking. But then he kind of has his ramp up period where he gets in shape. And these guys are professional athletes. They can put on weight or drop weight, whenever they please. And that's a part that we don't really talk about, why these guys are professionals. Mahomes will, no doubt be in shape for this season. You think after what happened in the Super Bowl, that guy's not going to be ready to come back? I'm certainly not doubting him. I think Mahomes has had a routine throughout his career. That routine hasn't changed, and we're going to continue to see really good quarterback play from him.
When Josh, here's the thing, like Bobby Strope, Patrick Mahomes' trainer, kind of got into it with Kietzman over Twitter, and like Strope makes a really good point. There's a difference between aesthetics and true health. And if Patrick Mahomes looked like a bodybuilder, if he came in at 5 to 7% body fat, he'd be like on the verge of like passing out. Like he would not be performing optimally. Like he would not be a good football player if he was like 5 to 7% body fat. Now you could make the argument maybe he could be anywhere from 12 to 15%, and he'd be a lot better. That could be an argument. But the fact that he's not shredded, like there's a difference between someone who is, for lack of a better term, just optimized for the best athletic results versus someone who looks sick. Like that's just not, like, looking like you are an athlete doesn't necessarily mean you're an athlete. To kind of draw.
Are we forgetting that the most accomplished player in this league's history showed up to the draft combine looking like he was a career grocery bagger, like having the most aesthetically unpleasing build? Yeah.
Kind of skinny fat, depending on who you asked.
Yeah. Like
it's ridiculous. And to draw a cross sport comparison, Jokic is a tub of lard, and he's out there winning MVPs and putting up 30 a night. It does not matter what you look like. It just matters that you know how to play the game. And guess what? His weight has been the same all these years, and we're doing just fine.
Exactly. So, I mean, like I said, Kevin Kietzman, there was a reason that he was thrown off the air years ago. And I think he reached a point of no return where he's like, I just don't care what I say anymore. And you know what? I can actually respect that to a degree. But there was no reason to personally attack, our quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, who has been extremely successful. If the Chiefs were coming off, multiple bad, disappointing seasons, like I would kind of maybe understand the criticism a little bit more. Mahomes has showed us that this is not a problem.
Well, and not only that, every time I watch him run, he's always a step quicker than everybody else. It'd be different if he was like, having trouble evading guys and he looked a step slower. He is constantly always one step ahead. And it's just, it doesn't make any sense to me, Josh. I feel like if anything, his physique has shown us that that's what peak athleticism looks like.
Absolutely. And, I think Mahomes, he's going to remember these comments, and I have a feeling there's going to be some point either he's going to get asked about it at the beginning of training camp, and he's going to be asked if he's seen it, and I'm going to be really interested to see what his response is.
At a certain point, people need to just kind of relax and I think it is also July. It's mid-July, and so we need something to talk about. And so Kevin Kietzman's kind of adding fuel to the fire. Why are we looking at dudes' bodies and criticizing them when when it's like not an issue whatsoever? Kind of weird, if you're asking me.
I think, Kevin Kietzman just needed something to get his name back in the controversy, to put his name back out there again. He wanted to be relevant.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's been relevant for all the wrong reasons.
That is true. But guys, that is all the time we have for this episode. But we want to know from you guys down in the comments your thoughts on this. Should Kevin Kietzman get canceled yet again for his comments towards the Kansas City Chiefs? Let us know down below. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com. Follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. And then, Michael, before we sign off, where can the people find you?
Well, really quickly, I just want to say that Kevin Kietzman's podcast is called Kevin Kietzman Has Issues, and his radio show is like uncancelable. So kind of interesting that he's kind of leaning into the whole, I say some questionable things kind of thing. But you guys can find me on YouTube at KC Sports Report. That's about it.
There you guys have it. That'll all be in the description down below. Make sure you check that out. That's all we got for this one. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.